Good evening, and welcome back. We're playing Limbo again, and tonight is a little bit of escapism for me, considering all the stuff that's going on in the world right now. Not that I'm trying to ignore it, but I'm at least trying to find some peace within a fantasy world that, even as dark and foreboding as it seems in the world of Limbo, somehow seems to be a bright spot compared to the things that are happening today. So, not to get too heavy on the rhetoric or the ideology, let's go ahead and jump into this game. Resume where we were. So hopefully everyone's had a good week. Now, where we left off this last time, let's see here. Let's see here. Let me try something here. Okay, now as I recall, these things were magnetized. This is anti-gravity. Now, I didn't really pay attention to the audio too much last time. And it seems, for some reason, something stuck in my head. And they don't fall at the same time, do they? So I got to thinking, maybe there's something up with this. So the magnetic stuff is what keeps them up from what I can tell. And there we go. So I realized that because they came down at different speeds, maybe I could turn off the magnetic flow and I wouldn't have to I was able to use the timing to figure that out. Oh, wow. You know, this upside down stuff always gets to me. Let's give it a try. Not really sure what to do here, though. Oh. Okay, so if that's there, how would I get that to turn off there? Oh my god, I think I have to actually... If I bring it up there... Oh man! Not what I thought was going to happen. Alright. So we're back up here at the top of this house. You know, I know I've gone on about this before in past playthrough sessions, but there's a part of me that's like, who lives here? Where's that smoke coming from? And I love that it's really not an answerable sort of thing. So, jumping down here, jump across. There seems to be a rope at the bottom down there with the saw, right? Something's not working there. So what am I doing wrong here? Okay. So maybe I'm jumping here. Nope. What am I missing? think about this for a second here. While I slide back down again. So, okay, there's clearly something that I have to do here. Falling off the other side of the building was not what I meant to do, but I guess it was something to do. So this is interesting in the fact that you don't have much to go off of except sliding off a roof. Oh! Wow! Oh, okay, I'm getting it. If I go too far, I just slam against this, fighting gravity. Just have to jump. And miss that again. Okay. So while somebody plays dubstep down below... Ah! Oh my god, okay. So go, go, go. That's kind of crazy. Alright, so... I think I have to time it across there. Jump over to the ledge there. And then down underneath where that rope is. Come on. Oh! Oh, you died on a big donut. Woo, this is unforgiving now. Man. Give it a shot again. Oh, man, if you don't jump far enough. So you just get broken against that thing. Jump. Alright, there's that. And then go and jump. Go and jump. Alright. Oh man, okay. See, now that's interesting. In past levels, you could fall out of the trees and not experience that same sort of thing. Okay. So before I jump off there, there's no way to swing on this thing. Hopefully I didn't have to go the other way. There was no way going back there. Ah, good gravy. Okay, so jump. Ah, man, that didn't work. Okay, so what am I doing wrong here? So I come back up. Over here and see what's going on. Okay, so that's on a time. You know, and it's even the devils in the details, like the stuff in the back going up at the same time. And that makes me wonder what I'm supposed to be doing here. Aside from falling to my death. Oh! That was pure dumb luck. Alright, so let's try that again. Oh! Okay, Okay, I'm getting it now. I'm getting it now. So I have to jump out here. Elevate myself. Get over there. And then jump back out. Elevate it back up. Not get killed. Woo, man, that's a tricky one, isn't it? All right, let's try that again. So we're going to go up, down, back up. Grab the box. Bring it over. It's such a tricky thing because... Oh, see, I didn't jump far enough. I started getting a little bit iffy on the jumping there. Alright, so run back. No. Let's wait here. Wait there. That was a close one. Not gonna make that one. That one took chunks out. Whew! Here comes the sweat again on the hands. All right, jumping over. I didn't even try. I went to high five and just missed. These are the ones, man. All right, try that again. It's because the controls seem to reverse on me a little bit there. And it's brilliant. I love it because it's just insane enough that you're kind of questioning what you're trying. Oh, I jumped ahead of time. I could have had that one. I really could have had that one. Oh my God. If you're off by just a bit right there, you really do miss it. You have to time it to where you're right over the switch, receive the anti-gravity. And I think when you're upside down, it's kind of insane because, I can't imagine what this would be like. And I know I've said this multiple times, but just the aspect of vertigo, the the assumption that you're going to make it to certain levels, going too far, not, timing is everything. That was close. Man. Okay, let me think about this for a second here. Let me take a rest for a second. So I actually did make it through here pretty quickly on those first few jumps and moments, but it's always one like that just, man, messes with my head. But it makes me realize, like, maybe, just maybe, I should have gone the other way. But then now that I see that drop off over there, I kind of realize that this is the only way to have really gone. I do love that the game is unrelenting to some degree. I mean, like, I made a comparison to Volgar the Viking, which is truly old school, unrepentant hardness. Like Super Ghouls and Ghost level stuff. But this one isn't frustrating. I mean, it might be for some players, for some people, but I really have enjoyed this quite a bit. And I know that it's just, it's just making sure that I can get over to the right place at the right time. But it seems like in this one, like, there's not enough time to actually grab this and get back. Oh, that was some parkour stuff right there. It almost seems like You just got to be right on that. Oh, come on, man. Oh, my God. So it's clearly the only thing I did differently there was, aside from actually hitting the button, the only thing I did differently there was I managed to pull this box over far further than I thought I'd be able to. And then got back over here. Oh, like that. Man, that's like really pushing the level there. And getting up there. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Nope. I knew I wasn't going to make that one. Oh, man. That is utterly insane. Ah. Yeah. It's weird, too, because it's also just like anybody that's ever played Super Mario Brothers or any of those classic old platformers where you're spending your time running around trying to get past these things. And just having a hell of a time. Because you know it's down to timing and you're watching that thing trigger down, and any little, any little bit of hesitation on your part is what does you in. Just like right there. And it's been one of those things while playing this game that, on some things I ended up overthinking some stuff, and oh man, I really didn't think I was gonna make that. I'm getting kind of good at that. I say that I'm gonna fall here in just a second. Oh man, I actually made it. So, part of it for me has been this whole, oh, man, come on, I almost had it. All right, at least I know now that once I'm past this horrible saw, that when I slide down, there's a button that lets me go back up. Otherwise, I'm going to end up in the exact same position I was before, which isn't great. There's always been this time playing this game that I thought, when is the moment going to happen when I'm just going to quit, when I'm like, I can't go any further. I cannot complete the game. And I really wonder if I'm starting to head to that point. Not because of fatigue or anything. It's just, the mental wearing down of this game, which is a good thing. It's something that, oh my God, come on. You're not going to make it. You're not. Oh, no. It's not the repetitiveness as much as it is the just this whole thing of like, okay, I've done it, and it's almost. But there's a nice wonderment to that as well too for me, because there's this whole thing of like, well, I made it. I succeeded in getting this thing completed and done. So that's been rather cool. And it's been one of those things where like I've been trying to get through things like that. I almost bit it right there. Okay. So woo, okay, please don't let me start over. Okay, right there. All right. I can handle that. All right. So okay, I need to time this. So it's up and down. There's definitely that thing there. So I can see where I'm going to be stuck here for a second. It's kind of cool because this has also been reminding me of whenever I first started playing video games and seeing like the real difficulty that I took for granted back then. But you had your skill set where your repetition and all that other stuff on simple 2 and 3 button controllers would get you through games like Contra when you least expected it. All right, let's see here. Up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so something tells me that I'm going to jump. Okay, so this is going to involve me being able to get over there. Up on top. So I'm going to go up, run over. No, wait. I'm going to hold off on that for a second. So I definitely have to turn off that and jump onto it somehow. I mean, I guess I can just keep rushing through it. I mean, that's the beauty of this game. There are unlimited lives, but I know that no matter what, I'm going to get jacked on one or two of these things. As soon as I drop down, turn it off. That doesn't make sense because I'm not close enough. Unless I have to be all the way down here. Nope. Alright. Did not expect that to actually work. Did not expect that. Oh, man. Okay. That was crazy. So let me sit here for a second because there's a gun down there as well, too. How am I going to pull that off? So I'll go down there like that. So it has to do something with the timing of how to get past this. There's a weird rhythm happening here. I did not expect that. Interesting. Okay. Nope. Gun down. Oh my god, intestines came out that time. It's just a little macabre. No. Oh, actually. Oh. That's pretty horrific. Alright, so what's going on here? I dropped down like that. I'm getting a little bit too close to that brick for my own comfort. What am I doing here? Do I do that? But see, if I fall down here... No. Cut in half again and floating around. But I jump down here. Miss that. There's some sort of weird timing to this one as well, too. So I can land there and go over. I managed to jump over the first part and that's it. So there's definitely something weird about this. Alright, let's see if I can just drop on the edge there. I just want to fall on that, but like, not that, not that, not that. Well, that was an almost. Something tells me that I need to like be able to walk. Oh God, okay. So I need to be dropping down, go across there, not get caught on that. Woo! That was not. Oh! That was not a fun one to figure out. All right, so I'm gonna go back down here. I I definitely have to get across. Oh, man. Ah. Alright, so I come down here. I can't stand there at the edge. I gotta time this one to make sure I'm jumping across. And down. Nope. I knew that was coming. So this is really a countdown thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. The count's pretty accurate. I'm not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. All right, there's that. So... what in the world? That was oddly beautiful. Wow. That actually gave me chills. Okay, kind of back in a forest environment. That was the scene from earlier, wasn't it? Holy crap. Wow, guys. Beat the game. Oh, man. I was so close to just kind of quitting there for a second. I was actually a couple times prior. That was a really kind of weird and bittersweet, little odd, and beautifully ambiguous ending to a game. Man, that was just fantastic. You know, and something I realized was that there were no voice actors in this game. I mean, I realized that from early on. But, wow. Start new game, load chapter, setting. Okay, so now I'm interested. Let's go in here real quick. Well, Well, I'll let that sink in that I just finished the game. I mean, I only ended up playing, what? I'm about 30 minutes into gameplay. Straight gameplay, haven't edited this video or anything else like that. And load chapter. Wow. So there's quite a few things in here. It's like a snapshot of all the stuff from the past. You know, I was for certain that we'd discover what those people were. But everything about this, like, there's a beautiful ambiguity and mystery to late 60s and late, especially mid to late 70s science fiction, where it's things like the Omega Man and stuff that have this thing where you get these background characters and moments and elements that are fleeting, just like they are in real life. And I could imagine that if you're in a dystopian society, that there's going to be a lot of unanswered questions and moments, environments and places. And all this game did was make me want to go deeper into the mythology. But it's ungodly refreshing that this is what we got. I don't believe that there is a true sequel to this game. I think there's the spiritual one, the other game that's out now, or that was released a few years ago as well too. I'm really behind my video game playing, and just so much of this really it blew my mind. I mean, it's started to affect and change even how I've been illustrating, and I've been adding more elements into my newer work, which I'll be featuring in some of my other videos that I'll have on here. But the game was excellent. If you're looking for a platformer with an intense amount of moments, a lot of extremely ingenious and well thought out puzzle-like play, you cannot go wrong with this. And I know I'm probably, preaching to the choir. I know a good number of you that may be stumbling across this video, watching it now, have probably already played this game. And if you haven't, I can't recommend it enough. This takes me back to, there were moments in my life that really got to me. There was all of these moments where I would end up thinking back to like all of the stuff that I'd gone through whenever I played games when I was younger. And I had played games, the very first game I ever beat was Lord of the Sword on the Sega Master System. And it was one of those games that I thoroughly enjoyed and played all the way through. I stayed up one night, and I'm trying to remember now, because my mind's completely boggled down with this. The short of the long of it is I stayed up late one night, and it was on a Saturday night, and it was maybe 2, 3 in the morning. I had just gotten done eating some pizza rolls. I had a couple of Dr. Peppers in front of me, and was playing that game, and I managed to make it all the way through. And I remember it was maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had beat the game. It was the first game I beat. A couple years later, the next 2 games I beat were role-playing games. One was Lunar, not Eternal Blue, Silver Star Story for the Sega CD, which was an epic chapter-spanning entire summer of play. I wandered around it. I was obsessed with the fact that I could walk around in the world. Everybody was switching over to PlayStation at that time, and I was still stuck being a Sega fanboy. Still am to this day. And the next game, also a Sega game, that I beat and all the way through was Panzer Dragoon Saga, one of the most overlooked and underrated role-playing games out there. I say underrated because not a lot of people know about it. And I guess the story goes that the original machine, or however they would have stored it, I'm not techie in that respect, basically the code was lost. So although they could make more copies, I would surmise they can't take that coding and transport it over, they can't port it over to something like the Nintendo Switch. Although, they, I guess, had the source code for Panzer Dragoon and the second one, just not the third one, which was the 4-disc spanning CD game. So more onto this. So I'm just gonna wander around here as I talk about this, so you guys aren't just staring at a menu. That was pretty darn cool. I can't get over how this ended. I don't know who that character was. Beautiful ending. I didn't know what to expect when I saw him go back through the, through that whole force field thing right there. That was like a really powerful moment that made me think to myself, like, wow, okay, so now I'm really in the game. And I guess, I don't know why. There's been no bosses per se. There's been nothing like that. It's literally been this driving narrative that has just been astoundingly well played through. And it's like watching, when I was a kid, I fell in love with shadow puppetry. There used to be a puppet house near where I grew up when I was living overseas in Italy, and it was down in Piancovallo. And every great once in a while, they would come and visit the elementary school I was at, and so I fell in love with that sort of thing. And this even has like a little bit. For those of you that are Harry Potter fans, I think it's in either the 6th or 7th movie. Could be wrong on that. And it's the animation that deals with the Elder Wand, like I'm even listening to the audiobook right now, and I'm forgetting the Deathly Hallows. So it's the Elder Wand, the Cloak of Invisibility, and then there's that third item. I can't remember it right now off the top of my head. Ugh, I'm a terrible Harry Potter fan. And because of that, it kind of reminds me of the animation they did in the live-action movie to tell the tale of this, of the story of the three brothers and how they cheated death and went forward from there. And I thought that was, like when I saw this, it was one more thing that made me fall in love with it. There's so much out there that this definitely drew inspiration from, and I realized that there are other games similar to this, some of them with a much more action-oriented gameplay, a little more frantic. But this one really struck me in the fact that the art direction was masterful in giving you just a glimpse. If you have ever watched, I believe the movie came out in 1979, but the original Alien with Sigourney Weaver, of course. What's so absolutely horrifying about that film isn't that you get to see these radical, over-the-top Michael Bayhem sort of action scenes. It's that the creature is rarely shown completely. If ever, except for one scene, I think the airlock scene. Otherwise, it is an absolutely haunting and horrific moment to watch through that movie. To watch that creature move and maneuver and exist in there. And so much of that comes out in this. Really good horror films to me, which is, in and of itself can be an amazing genre. I'm not talking about stuff like Saw or other stuff, which has its own fandom, and I won't knock it. I know that there's people that truly love that sort of thing. When there's something that's dark and almost unforgivably just repressive in its presentation, and it's monolithic and somewhat barbaric, but refined to the point of being harsh, like this, blocky shapes, defined elements. It can't help but pull you into a world where everything feels like it's cold and unfeeling at the exact same time that it seems vaguely familiar, like everything is wrapped in fog, as you see right now, where things are distinct yet despondently lonely, and you can feel that they were once lived in. And I love that sort of thing. And it's amazing what you can accomplish with just the elements of shadow, form. Line played very little in the design elements here. It is very much form and shape. Not a lot of necessarily biomorphic shapes, a lot of hard geometries and things. If we go through and we look at some of these other ones, there's some brilliant moments in there, like, going back and look at some of these. They clearly pull from moments of industrialization, and you can kind of see tropes in there from things like, Indiana Jones definitely, but a lot of other stuff, like even all the way back to, I'd say, the movie Metropolis, which is a fantastic old sci-fi movie. Probably not everyone's cup of tea, but something I genuinely love. Super 7 released some of a figure based on that film. I got a variant of it. I don't remember which one I have now, but very cool sort of designs. And this has a very diesel punk heavy feel to it. And I'm also really happy that the overall surprise in a lot of the elements, they would ingeniously get me into feeling like, oh, I've done this old chestnut before. Oh, this, I'll have this. And because Super Mario Brothers can kind of build you in that same way, and hey, these blocks, I have to go find the power switch and activate them to activate all the yellow or all the green blocks, or this block will break, or this block will be able to let me bounce if it's got a music note. All of those sort of things. This took familiar elements and then just completely changed them around, whether it reversed gravity on me, it turned everything in an Inception kind of way. The music was just phenomenal throughout, listening to it. And I wish that I'd gotten the earlier episodes to really work out well, to where the audio was dead on. I know, thankfully, a lot of you have reached out and told me that it wasn't as bad, but for me, I struggled to make sure that that was going to be all right. Even then, I'm still having to do a lot of post-processing on these videos to get everything dead on and exactly where I want it to be. But I digress. I'm sorry. So it really got me that the moments would activate at the right time. And there's a lot of games you can play, like Assassin's Creed or other ones like that, where they do have these musical cues, and they do happen. Resident Evil is another one, especially Code Veronica on the Dreamcast, that had these moments that would elicit responses and get you, really going. I don't watch a lot of horror films, but, whenever they use, I think it's, it was just in my head right now. I think it's called the water organ, but it's essentially a series of pipes that has water in it, and I think you draw something across it to get it to kind of, everyone knows the sound, but it's this distinct sound that's used in a lot of horror movie trailers and moments whenever the discordance, the dissonance of it just is supposed to put you on edge. So, closing thoughts on this before I end this. Man, I can't say enough good things, and I will probably end up playing back through it again and trying to do a speed run or see if I discover everything. Supposedly, from other people that I talked to about this game, whenever they had either messaged me and talked to me about the videos or stuff, there were some that dropped some hints, because I kept saying, please keep it spoiler free. But there were a few that dropped some hints saying that I had not unlocked everything, and that one of the hardest ones to see, I think, something slightly different, or maybe a different ending, I don't know yet, I really don't, is to not die through the entirety of the game. I don't have any way of knowing how in the world I would pull that off. I would imagine after the 10th or 12th playthrough, I could remember most of these things. I am extremely death prone in any game I play. If there's a way to die in Monopoly, I have probably done it. Pulled some stupid card out of community chest like suffers heart attack. But yeah, man. So right now, thank you so much, guys. All of you that followed and watched this. This was a blast. I can't wait to jump onto the next set of games that I've got, set up. I'm not really sure what the next one will be. I know that I already started with the first chapter of DuckTales, and I'll probably jump back into that. I'm definitely not going to touch Air. I thought I was going to give it a second chance. I might hold off on that one. There's a couple of other games in the queue that I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens with those, and see if I can play through those and finish them. But I really had started this one because A, it was close to my art style. B, it reminded me of a lot of things growing up, like shadow puppetry and, other kinds of cinematographic, sort of references as I started to play through it. So I'm hoping that, you guys enjoyed this playthrough as much as I had fun playing through it, even during the really frustrating moments and the terrible sound in the early episodes and stuff. Thanks a lot, guys. That means a lot. And thanks for keeping the views going up on these. That's amazing. I know that, I will probably never get hundreds or thousands of views on these things, but for those of you that have watched it, it means the world. It really does. So thank you for joining me in this again. Thank you for joining me in this short playthrough. I'm hoping your weeks will get better. To get away from video games just for another moment. I know things are crazy. I know things are tough, but sometimes taking the moment to invest in yourself, to play through a game, to absorb yourself in fantasy, to be able to do that sort of thing, that is an immeasurable freedom that we have, that we can do right now. It doesn't have to be anything fancy like this. Get some cards out, play some Magic the Gathering, play checkers, do anything like that, or maybe just go for a walk, read, write that short story you've always wanted to. I say that because I've got a little short story that I'm going to hopefully be able to pen out and write about my little foster, who is supposed to be going to a brand new home tomorrow. Now this will be his second chance, so let's all keep our fingers crossed that Shorty Pants makes it and he really does get a good home from that. I'm really going to miss him, but he's a good little guy, and he's terrified of everything. I have yet to be able to pet him, but somehow he's going to be picked up by his family, and I think he hit the jackpot. His new adoptive family has a veterinarian and a very loving little girl that I think is going to be the world for him, and a dog that is also just as scared of everything as he is. So with that, I will thank you all once again, and I will get done with this video. If you like what you saw, feel free to drop me a line, follow me if you like. Thank you to all 84 of you that are following me currently. I know I'm saying thank you so much, but I'm really grateful for a lot of the things I have right now and the opportunities I have to do this sort of thing. So I appreciate it very much. I will see you guys in the next video, and I will decide probably in the next half hour or so after this video is done what I'm going to do from there. So have a good night all. We'll talk to you then.